In this video, I will outline a very clear framework that you can use to structure your growth plans. Just a quick note, while this framework shines with our Flow 21 system, it's just as powerful with any other CRM you already use, or even a simple spreadsheet setup. You don't need our tool to win. So follow along, apply it to your setup in your business, and watch the results. By the end of this video, you'll get 3 things. Number 1, you will have a clear framework that will serve as your growth map. So in times that you will feel lost in 2026, don't stress. You can go back to this framework as your map. Number 2, you will get a list of guide questions that you could ask for every stage of the framework. So in the coming months of 2026, you can do your quarterly planning with your team using this framework and just use the guide questions in this video for your planning. Finally, number 3, we will use this framework to identify your top growth bottleneck today. So you will know exactly what to focus on. Okay, let's dive in. Grab a notepad and take notes. Let's start with the big picture. I'll give you an overview of Flow 21's Growth Automation System framework, GAS or GAS framework. This framework is the engine that runs your business, whether you're aware of it or not. Again, think of your business as a jet engine, a machine made up of interconnected stages that must all work well for your jet to fly. If one stage is doing very, very bad, the entire jet might not even fly. And here are the stages of the growth framework. First, a leads database. Second, an outreach process. Third, sales pipeline process. Fourth, your nurture processes. And 5, your delivery processes. These are the 5 different stages that we will discuss one by one. And if it sounds overwhelming right now, well, let's take a step back. Let me give you a tip. So as we deep dive each stage of the framework, it's important for you to understand the entire framework. But more importantly, that you decide which of these 5 stages is your bottleneck today. Now, with this in mind, let's deep dive with each stage. For each stage, I'll explain how it works, what guide questions you need to be asking. At the end of this video, let's figure out what's the number 1 thing that's keeping your business from growing. It's gonna be one of these stages. Stage 1, leads database. And your old leads, also known as your business goldmine. Every growth system starts with hygiene. A clean, organized leads database. This isn't just a list. It's not just your business's memory bank. It's your business goldmine. You should guard it as your most valuable asset. If your business has been operating for years, this is one of the things that you have against newer competitors. The longer you have been operating in business, well, you should have a longer leads database. And this should be a big advantage for you. All new and old leads live in your database, tagged and ready. If you skip this, you're gonna be reinventing the wheel every month. Business will be harder. Just think about what happens if your leads database is not clean. You are either relying on the memory of your sales employees, which can leave you, they could resign, or you are relying on the memory of your prospects and customers who are busy with their own lives and their own problems. However, with a clean database, you could recycle leads for sustained low-cost growth. So let's go back to your business. Here's the big question. How long is your database today? How many contacts could you consolidate into one clean list? How many thousands of people can you contact now? Let's reflect deeper on stage 1, the leads database, and let's see if it's your business bottleneck today. These are your guide questions. So how many total leads, new and old, are in your database right now? Do you even have them organized in one clean list? Or are they scattered in different lists in someone else's computer? Now, if you add past customers, lost customers, How many contacts could you consolidate into one clean list? Now, add all the friends from your social media, and how many more people could you contact? Now, add your phone contacts and email contacts. How many people could you contact now? Now, add all the business cards from the events and conventions you attended over the years. How many people could you contact now? If your sales employees resign and move to a competitor, will they be able to copy your database and take your list? If you meet someone new tomorrow, is there a way for you to keep track? What if someone's not ready to buy today, but they're ready in 2 months or in 2 years? Who's gonna remember that? Are you relying on prospects' memory to remember you? Or are you relying on your salespeople not to resign for the next 2 years? If we create a clean list today of all your leads today, including your friends and social media, what would happen if you reached out to every single lead over the next 3 weeks and asked them for a referral? How many new referrals and new leads are you gonna get? If we create a clean list of all your leads today, what would happen if you reached out to every single lead over the next 3 months? How much of your revenue target could you achieve just from reminding these leads that you still exist and want their business? Also, write down the size of your database today. Just estimate what you remember. But a database alone is incomplete without fresh fuel. Let's talk about new leads next. Stage 1.2. New leads generation adds more leads to your database. Think of your leads database as a vegetable patch in your own backyard. It's the fertile soil where your business harvests sales and revenues. Recycling old leads and managing your old databases, it's like tending to existing vegetables, such as pruning and nurturing eggplants and sweet potatoes that keep producing season after season without replanting from scratch. But new leads generation is planting fresh seeds and fresh sprouts like tomatoes, cucumbers. You need a reliable mechanism for generating new leads consistently. Let's deep dive on your business's new leads generation. Here's the big question. What is your number one reliable lead generation channel? How much are you spending in time and money to generate leads in this channel? Can you double or triple the time and money you invest here to also double or triple your lead flow? What do you think is the maximum if you increase more effort and more spend? Do you think you're already at the maximum for your reliable sales channel? Can you 10 times the time and money inputs so you could 10 times your lead flow? What's your number two reliable lead generation channel? Same questions. How much are you spending in time and money to generate the leads in this channel? And can you double or triple or 10x? What's your number three reliable lead generation channel? Is your number two or number three channel distracting you from focusing on your number one lead generation channel? Now, let's talk about your team's capacity. How many new leads do you expect each of your sales and marketing team to generate? What's stopping them from doing 2 times or 3 times of their current lead generation? Do you think you have the right incentives to push them for new lead generation? Are there automations that you could try to make them more productive in new leads generation? Have you mapped all the lead generation channels available to you? Have you tested other channels? Here's a list of 10 options, not to overwhelm you, but to help you plan. Just a short list of 10 lead gen channels you can consider so you can track and ideate for your business. Just think about it. If there's one that might be game changer for your business, imagine how many fresh prospects would flood in. So here's a quick list of 10 ideas for you. Number one, referrals. So do you ask your clients to refer their friends to you? Do you ask them frequently? Number two, content marketing. You could create new leads by establishing yourself as the expert with blogs, LinkedIn posts, or YouTube videos, solving your prospects' pain points, so new people can discover you. Number three, partnership and affiliates. You could swap referrals with non-competing businesses that work with your same clients. Number four, cold outreach or cold emailing or cold calling. to new leads. Number 5, events like virtual webinars or industry face-to-face events. Number 6, SEO and search, both paid and organic. Number 7, paid ads, Google ads, Meta ads, LinkedIn ads, TikTok ads, YouTube ads. Number 8, social media engagement. You can post and interact with your clients publicly, like Facebook groups, which are relevant for them. Number 9, influencer collaborations. And number 10, direct mail. You can send personalized packages to your clients. Send them a cake if you want. Remember that you don't need to do this alone, by the way. You could hire agencies or freelancers to help you build new sales channels, new lead gen channels. Write down how many leads you generate from each of your lead gen channels. Now that we have a view of your new leads and old leads in a clean database, let's talk about what we're going to do with them. Because what good is a list if we're not able to get their attention? Stage 2, outreach, also known as getting the attention of your database. Now it's time to cook. Outreach is simple. It means getting the attention of your leads. When I talk about getting attention, I don't mean just randomly emailing or calling your entire database. Outreach stage is much more than that. You can think of outreach stage like taking the fruits and vegetables from your patch in the previous stage, the database, and now prepping them and cooking them. The first thing you want to do is still related to the previous stage actually. You want to qualify and tag your database first to determine what outreach is appropriate for each set of leads. Qualifying and tagging your leads is kind of like chopping, sorting, and labeling the ingredients from your vegetable patch before firing up the stove. Without this step, you're throwing random stuff into the pot and resulting in a messy and inefficient meal that might not even taste right. Simplistically, there's 3 main buckets of leads for your outreach. First, there's the new prospects that are qualified. These new inquiries are very time sensitive. You want to outreach to them and follow up with them as fast as you can. If there's a prospect that want to solve their problem with your solution, you want to outreach to them daily. Second, there's old prospects that are qualified but maybe just not ready to buy. So these leads are prospects that you think will be a good fit, but they aren't ready to buy today. So perhaps you sent them a proposal in the past, but you didn't win their business at that time. Maybe it's a timing issue or a budget issue, but you're optimistic one day they will be ready to work with you. In this case, you want to outreach to them every 3 months. Just check up on them. And finally, all other leads that are not qualified or even those dormant leads. So these leads can become sources of referrals for you as long as you are top of mind for them. Some of them may even become qualified prospects, especially if they change employers or if their business changed or grew. For these ones, you can have a more passive outreach, such as greeting them on their birthdays once a year. Just an idea. So, after you sorted the leads, it's time to cook. Outreach is not limited to phone calls. Here's a list of outreach techniques you could do to your existing database. You could do phone calls because nothing beats a live conversation for rebuilding trust. You could do personalized emails. You could do LinkedIn DMs, social media DMs, Facebook DMs, Instagram DMs, WhatsApp DMs, Facebook Messenger DMs. You could SMS them. You could do voice notes, so it's a bit more personalized. You could catch up with them over coffee, so in-person meetups or Zoom meetups. You could share content to them. You could send direct mail to them, like send them a cake, for example. You could do webinars, and you could do retargeted ads for them. So here are the big questions for outreach stage 2. Are you qualifying your leads? Because you can't just pitch and propose to everybody, right? You can't just grab the attention of everyone in your list. You have to select what is the ideal customer profile for you and focus on those because your time's limited and your budget's limited. So let's say you determine a lead is qualified. How many outreach touches do you make to get their attention? Are you fast in your outreach to the inquiries coming in? What's stopping you from handling more inquiries? Do you need to hire more people to handle the inquiries? Do you need automation to handle more inquiries? Do you even outreach to your old leads? Do you have a process with your sales employees to outreach old customers and old prospects? How many outreaches they do per week? How many outreaches can they do per week, per month, per employee? Outreach is ultimately about attention. How many outreach touches do you make per lead before giving up? Is it just one email or one call? What if you doubled the follow-ups to 5 or 10 strategic touches across channels like email, LinkedIn, SMS calls? Now, what if you automated those sequences? How many more leads could you ignite without adding hours or adding sales employees? What's your outreach win rate? How many leads respond positively per 100 outreaches? Do you have automated sequences for initial outreach and follow-ups or re-engagement? Or is it all manual, eating your team's time? Are you personalizing outreach based on what you know about your contacts from your database, or are you just blasting the same message to everyone? Are you reminding them of your past interactions or pain points that you discussed before? What if you added that? How many more doors would that open for you? How diverse are your outreach channels? Is it just email? What happens if you add social media like LinkedIn messages, WhatsApp messages, Instagram messages, or targeted ads? Now you got some attention from your qualified leads. We're going to progress them to your sales pipeline in stage 3. Stage 3, sales pipeline, also known as a compatibility test. So this one's closer to dating more than anything. Think of your pipeline, your sales pipeline, like dating. People dating have their own processes. Some people do more active dates like running or rock climbing, while other people do coffee dates and movies. You have multiple meetings with them to determine if there's a fit. For both your business and the prospect, if the follow-ups stop, much like in dating, the sale ends. Think about it. If there's no clear next meeting, the business relationship is at risk. Much like in dating, the sale ends. So let's dig deeper and reflect on these guide questions for stage 3 so we can determine if it's your bottleneck today. Over the last 10 proposals that you sent, did you win only 1 or 2? What tweaks should you focus on so your sales process could close 3 to 5 out of 10? If you audited your last 10 lost deals, what patterns emerge? Do you have a structured process and a structured script for your sales calls? Or is it more like freestyle without a script or a process that's leading to inconsistent closes? How do you handle objections? Are you resolving those objections? Do you even have a list of all of the objections you commonly get? If someone says, oh, your solution is too expensive, do you have a set script to respond to that? If the deals drag on, would automating follow-ups or giving more incentives to your team cut this in half? Are you even tracking the pipeline stages? Like the discovery and then demo call, proposal, and then pricing negotiation, and then closing calls with clear metrics? If not, how many deals are stuck and what's blocking them? Is your sales team following up enough? Of course, not all deals are won right away, and that's okay. In fact, that's where the real magic happens. On to stage 4, nurture, keeping losses warm for recycling. Nurturing leads is all about keeping the conversation going with those qualified prospects who aren't ready to buy yet. You turn a no for now into a yes later. The deals that you lost to timing, budget, or competition. It's like tending to your vegetable patch after the initial planting. Not all vegetables or fruits bloom at the same time. Like tomatoes might ripen quickly, while eggplants need more time to mature. But you don't stop watering or tending to them despite this delay. On the contrary, you prepare for it with care and patience, watering them every day. So when their season arrives, they yield a bountiful harvest that sustains your business. Without a solid nurture process, those hard-earned prospects and leads from your database and outreach and pipeline just wither away. Because you can't win all of the deals all at once, all the time. Some prospects are just not ready. Recycling leads for free is cheap. Let's deep dive into your business's nurture processes. There are a few ways to nurture, and let me share a quick list to give you some ideas. You could do automated emails, like email newsletters, where you could drip valuable content like case studies, industry insights to your lead list. The social media retargeting could keep your brand visible, and you could do social media ads that are retargeted to your existing leads. You could do personalized check-ins via LinkedIn or WhatsApp. You could do webinars or newsletters that solve ongoing pains. Even simple birthday greetings or milestones of your clients or prospects to congratulate them. Even simple birthday greetings or congratulations to your clients' milestones could be a big impact in your nurturing. Here's the big question for this stage. What do you do with prospects that you weren't able to close? Do you keep a list? Do you forget they ever existed? Do you believe that there's a 0% chance that you will eventually win their business if you choose to be patient and persistent and kept following up with them and nurturing them, even if they said no the first time? How many lost or not yet ready deals from the last year could you revive with consistent nurturing this year? Out of the 100 nurture leads last quarter, how many did you recycle and responded to meet with you again? Out of 100 nurture leads last quarter, how many did you recycle or even asked for a referral? Do they still remember you? Do they even know that you still exist? And are you tracking your nurture touches across channels like email open rates, content clicks, social media engagements? If not, how do you know what's warming them up versus turning them off? Do you segment your nurture based on past interactions? For example, sending advanced tips to old prospects versus basic education to new ones. And how often do you nurture? Monthly? Quarterly? If it's consistent, what's stopping you from automating it in a CRM, on a system, so you could run on autopilot, freeing your team for high-touch sales and still maintaining the nurture with the old prospects? I want you to write down how many leads you're actively nurturing and your rough re-engagement rate. On to the next step. Stage 5, delivery stage, onboarding and delivery. I won't spend too much time on this stage. I'm sure you know a lot more about how you do onboarding and delivery for your clients of your product and service. Here's the big question. If you doubled your customers tomorrow, would your delivery break? How many clients can you handle right now without dropping quality or burning out your team? Some businesses have too many customers and can't handle more growth. And that's fine too. If you're at capacity, expanding capacity first is key before pushing for more sales or working on the other stages. Is your team at capacity? What's stopping you from automating some routine tasks on onboarding and delivery, such as reporting and giving updates? Do you have a structured onboarding process for new clients, like automated emails for the onboarding, welcome messages, kickoff calls, and milestone checklist? Or is it ad hoc, leading to confusion and delays? What's your customer retention rate after the first 3 to 6 months? What's causing churn? Is it poor fulfillment, unmet expectations, or lack of ongoing support? How do you measure delivery success? CSAT survey, NPS Net Promoter Score survey, completion times, other feedback surveys? If not, how many issues are slipping through? Do you have a way to know and get feedback? Do you upsell or cross-sell during delivery? For example, spotting add-on needs mid-project. What if you systematized that to boost revenue per customer? If you audited your last 10 delivered projects, what patterns emerge in complaints or praises? We also have support and tech teams in 5 different time zones to keep the system up and running to ensure good service and software delivery. Those are the 5 stages of Flow 21's Growth Automation Framework or GAS framework. Let's wrap up this video and make sure you walk away with a crystal clear action plan. Remember, at the start of this video, I promised you'd get 3 things: a growth framework as your map, guide questions for your quarterly planning, and most importantly, your top bottleneck identified today. So you know exactly where to focus on without overwhelming and thinking about all of the stages. We've talked through all 5 stages of the Flow 21 GAS framework: your leads database, your gold mine of new and old leads, outreach, which is how you grab attention, sales pipeline, how you guide the leads, like dating and closing, and nurture, keeping losses warm for recycling. And then finally, stage 5, delivery, how you can scale without breaking. So in your notepad, based on those guide questions, now it's the time to pinpoint your number 1 bottleneck. We're not fixing everything. We're laser focusing on one choke point on one stage that's easy and cheap to address for your massive growth. To identify it, I'll pose 2 questions. Pause the video if needed and think through them honestly. Focus on what's easy and cheap for you right now. So no big budgets, no overhauls required. We're basing this on the framework we just discussed. So now that you have your notes, here's question number 1. Which among the stages are you starting from 0? Those that you scored 0 or close to it. So the lowest score. Among these stages, which is the easiest and cheapest to start? For example, do you have a database at all? Or is it scattered and non-existent? Do you outreach old leads in any systematic way? Do you have a follow-up system for nurtures or pipeline stalls? Are these scored 0, 0, 0 in our review today? The gains from going from 0 to 1 can be huge, like consolidating your contacts in one free Google Sheet or sending a simple referral email to old leads, which costs nothing but an afternoon. And then, question number 2, among the stages that you did score, so anything above 0, which would be the easiest and cheapest to double? For instance, is it easier for you to double new lead generation by tweaking your top channel, like attending one more convention or one more event or sponsoring an event? Perhaps you could easily double your outreach by adding a quick SMS follow-up process to your current leads database. Or is it simple to double your follow-ups in the pipeline or nurture with a free automation tool? Again, zero in on low effort, low cost moves based on your setup. Now, based on your answers, arrive at only one stage as your bottleneck focus for this quarter. If you have a 0 score stage, maybe that's the quick kickstart. The upside from nothing to something is pretty explosive. If not, pick the non-0 stage. You could double most effortlessly and cheaply. This is your number 1 choke point. Write it down and circle it and commit. If you want to learn more of how we get results for our clients, click the next video.